You're listening to Do That Well with your hosts, Brenda Brown and Karen Thrall, a podcast about real experiences and how to turn them into life lessons. Unscripted, honest, funny, genuine, and passionate. A series of conversations where we explore every aspect of human interaction and provoke each other to do life well. On today's episode, I came across this article, which is 50 things you do every day that annoy other people. And as I was reading through it, I definitely found that I am guilty of some of these things,
Me
and
too.
some of these things are things that definitely do annoy me.
That's funny. That's exactly what I thought too. I was like, "Oops. Okay, wait. I'm guilty there." And I agree with that one.
Anyhow, we were having fun reading through these and, discovering the little things that perhaps we do that annoy other people. And I wanted to share it all with you today. So it's going to be a lighthearted, fun episode, and we're going to jump right into this list. 50 things you do every day that annoy other people. So the first one is using your phone while talking to someone. I definitely do this, and I have had it done to me. I will attest that it is annoying.
And the funny well, see, I'm on the other end. Like, I don't mind when people are on their phones with me. However, I do I do, like, walk with my phone, and sometimes I'll look down for too long and I'll be like, "Oops." Like, I've done that. "Oops, sorry," because I almost bumped into somebody, like, I've done that one. So and then, but I don't know, like, so it does bother you if people are on their phone while you're with them?
I guess it really depends on the situation, right? I think if I'm
Yeah.
like sitting down to a meal with someone, yeah, it bothers me because I'm like, you're just supposed to be
Oh,
present with me right now. Like
yeah.
we're having a moment. But
Yeah.
if
No,
you're like
that's
on a
true.
walk with somebody, or I think it really depends on the circumstance. It's
Yeah.
something that I'm highly aware of when I do it, though. Like I'll often find myself, if I do wander to my phone in one of those circumstances, I definitely will be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm paying attention. What's going on?" Or I feel like I need to explain, like, "Oh,
Uh,
sorry, I'm waiting for this thing from this person, and I just need to check on it," or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay, well, the one that cracked me up or the one that I definitely have a pet peeve is number 19, and it's talking at the movies. That is my pet peeve. So when I go to a movie theater, I really just wanna sit quietly, eat my popcorn, and watch the movie, so I don't want people talking to me, and I don't
Mhm.
wanna be in a conversation about the movie, like, we can do that afterwards. So I don't, so please don't talk to me while I'm at the movie. So what about you?
What about during the trailers?
No, okay, this is what the only thing I'm good at is if you look at me and go, "Whoa, I wanna see that one," or like, no." Like, it's about as much talking as I want, even during the trailers.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You would hate
Yeah.
going to a movie with me then.
Would I? Oh,
Uh,
would I? Okay, tell me. So you
well,
do?
I don't talk during the movie, but I definitely do talk during the trailer. I will give you this caveat. I worked at the movie theater when I was in high school for about 3 years. So my relationship with movie theaters is kind of skewed because I was behind the curtain.
Ah. So you have more of a relaxed.
Yeah, it's like more of a relaxed atmosphere for me, even if I'm going into a movie theater that's not familiar to me, just because I did work and I know what's going on behind the scenes and I have an
Yeah,
understanding of how it all works. And
yeah.
so I think because it's more of a relaxed place for me, I do find myself, and like the trailers to me, I'm like, oh, the trailers are the trailers, whatever. Look it up online, YouTube it.
Oh, and so that's so funny. Okay, well, another one that, I don't like, and I don't like it in small settings anyway, but if someone's taking a phone call at the gym, so everyone's working out and one person's at the gym. I've been in rooms where that's happening. And they're so loud because you have the whole noise of the gym and the noise of the equipment. So when they're talking, you can hear them and they don't realize that I can hear like everything they're saying. So if I don't mind if people are they use that inside muffled voice. That like I'm in a library voice. I don't mind that one. But if people I don't think people are aware of how loud that we can all hear what they're talking about because they're not aware of all the noise around them. So that one is a bit of a pet peeve. Unless it's a muffled library voice, then I'm okay.
I hear that. I hear that. Yeah. And I do think it's sometimes people just aren't aware of their volumes, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
guess that could
so
apply anywhere. That could apply, like, in an office setting, in a library, in a school. So maybe this talking thing, like, why am I picking all the talking ones?
you don't like your oral space to be invaded, you
I
know?
guess not.
There's two that I would like to point out because I think they are very similar to one another. So there's not standing to one side on an escalator, and then another one was refusing to walk single file on a crowded sidewalk. So I think these are kind of related, and these ones definitely bother me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, and I'm just gonna add another one that goes with it too, is stopping short while walking. So if you're in a crowd and you stop someone stops short, so it's like a domino effect
Oh yes.
because you're in this rhythm and then someone stops, you're like, "Whoa," and then you almost bump into them, and then it's just a little bit of a chaos. So that kind of falls into that category too.
Yeah. This one is one that I'm hyper aware of not doing myself, but I am hyper vigilant about when other people do it. Like, I'm not proud of this, but I will admit that I am definitely that person. If you're like in a group of three people and you're not walking single file on the sidewalk and I'm coming at you as like a single file person, you know, a lot of single file people, they would probably just move aside, right? But I will not. Like, I will straight up just like shoulder check you because I'm like, no, I am one human and you need to move out of the way. There's three of you.
Is there such a thing as sidewalk rage?
I don't know, but if there is, I probably experience it.
But the other one, the what was the other one you said?
The escalator.
Oh, the escalator, yes.
So not
Yes.
standing single file on an escalator because there is escalator etiquette, right? Like
Yes, there
if you want to
is.
stand and you don't want to walk, you're supposed to go to the right side. And if you want to walk up the escalator, you go on the left side.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. And I mean, it's just like a highway. You don't drive in the left lane or fast lane if you're from England. You don't drive in
Right.
the fast lane if you're going under the speed limit.
Totally.
You to go to
Exactly.
the far, yeah, the shoulder. But
I
yeah,
think the one time that we can have some grace for that one is at airports because everybody has luggage.
yeah,
So I think that's the one time that I usually, you know, I can understand it because sometimes you're a single person and you have a lot of luggage, and unfortunately, it just takes up the whole escalator,
yeah.
no matter how hard you try. I have another one
Okay,
because I think this is a controversial one, at least in my
okay.
opinion. Tapping your feet. What do you think of that one, Karen?
Oh, um, I think tapping feet, tapping a pen, tapping your fingers on the desk. Yeah, I don't not in a quiet office space. I think if you're in a white noise area, go for it, but if you're in a quiet office space, it's like it's that's a real distraction.
Oh,
Yeah, that would get old,
totally.
I think. Yeah. It would get
So
old
funny.
after a while. I think you could do it you could listen for a little bit, but then you'd be like, "Okay, that's enough."
Right. I know. It's so the reason that I say it's a controversial one, I am notorious for this behavior. I tap my feet all the time. I shake my leg. I fidget with a pen or pencil. For those of you that watch our recordings, I will
Mm,
almost always have something in one of my hands that I'm fidgeting with.
mm.
And
But
so,
has someone told you to stop tapping your foot?
oh yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
really?
I've definitely had people say like, "Hey, like, can you stop that?" Or "You don't need to shake your foot," or whatever it is. This is like a topic for another episode, but
Okay.
recently in my life, I am starting to self-diagnose myself, and I will seek an actual professional's opinion. But I think that I might have ADHD.
Oh,
Uh, and so I'm just sharing this with you all because I'm starting to understand that perhaps some of these things that I do, like tapping my feet obsessively, might be due to that. And so then it just makes me think about all these people out here that like can't help themselves and they're just tapping their
yeah, that's
feet.
true. Yeah, yep,
But it is
yep.
annoying. So it's a hard
Well,
one.
I don't know, like, a part of I think it depends on the context. Because if everyone's trying to work and focus and it's a really quiet room, I think that's when maybe, people would ask that not to have those sounds, but if there's a lot of commotion activity and someone just doesn't want you to do it, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Totally. And I think you're right. I think it's very specific to the setting in which the
Yeah,
behavior is happening.
yeah. I think it's
Anyhow.
when people are too like they're really focused. All those noises are distracting. Okay, so I have another one. Standing in a queue, like standing too close to other people
Mm.
in line,
Mhm.
and now especially with the COVID, keep your distance thing. I think it's really
Totally.
heightened now, like more than ever. But yeah, when I find somebody, if I'm thinking a lot of this is travel for me, like when I'm in line for the security portion and the person behind me is a little too close, I'm like, okay, wow, you are so in my space. That
Standing close
I
is a
find
hard
myself getting
one.
annoyed if a stranger stands too close to me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I
You
have
want
a
to hear
very
something? I was on a subway once, and it was really crowded, and someone sneezed on my neck.
ooh.
It was
Oh, yuck.
so disgusting. I felt my entire neck all get, oh,
Oh,
I
that's
actually did a
so
gaggy. I did that gaggy sound, when you like this. I was so grossed out, and here I was waiting. I had to when I got to my destination. I washed my neck, but I was like, that did not just happen.
oh, that's
So
so yucky.
yeah, it was really gross. Okay, what do you think of eating loudly, number 31?
Oh my gosh. Okay. This one doesn't annoy me actually. Um and I don't know if perhaps some of that's cultural. With my mom having grown up in Southeast Asia, because I think that appreciating your food is not like it's actually a good thing. If you're, saying things like, "Oh, this is so good," or or making those little noises when you eat, that's actually it means that you're showing the host how much you appreciated their food. So
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily bother me, but with that being said, it's another one of those settings sort of ones for me personally.
yeah,
Like if I was in a quiet
yeah.
office and there's someone over there like chewing on a salad, because salads take so much chewing, uh,
Mhm.
you know, like that might be annoying because I'd be like, I'm trying to concentrate and all I can hear is like your lettuce crunching.
Yeah. I'm trying to think too if I think it's again environment. If the atmosphere, like if we're at a picnic and people are scarfing their food, and I'm not going to care. If I was in a, if we're all sitting together around a table, the ambiance is more of just enjoying the meal together. I think maybe I'd care more, a little bit more.
Mhm. Have you ever found yourself, if you're in a setting, because it's funny now that we talk about this, I kind
Yeah.
of admire those people that just go for it though, in a way. Like if you're in a room and somebody has a bag of chips and they just start munching on their chips, like in a way, there's a part of me that's like, cool. I love that you're
Okay,
just doing
okay.
you. Like,
Okay, okay, well, then now you just opened a whole can of worms because popcorn is when I do this. Okay, I'm confessing to everybody. I popcorn. Yeah, I think I might annoy people when I eat popcorn because it is. I can't. I can't do one little kernel at a time. I
mhm.
can't. I do a handful and whatever gets in my mouth. No, I mean, it gets in my mouth, but there might be one kernel here or there that I might not get in my mouth, but I do. I love taking handfuls of popcorn and eating it like that. So there you go.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. So what I
there's
think is so
full
funny
confession, full confession.
what I find hilarious about this, Karen, is to go back to the movie theater for just a moment. It doesn't annoy me when people talk, but it does annoy me when I can hear people munching and like
Okay, now,
slurping on their
okay,
sodas and stuff.
no, I don't do that though. And I don't chew the popcorn loud. And I know,
It's just
like,
the
I do
act
have
of
the
getting the
but I do
popcorn.
yeah, it's that I put it a lot in my mouth. I put a lot in my hand, and it goes into my but then I don't. Like, I'll either chew it really slowly or I'll try not to make too many noises, especially when putting the hand in the bag. Like, I'm trying not to make a loud noise with my hand in the bag.
Right.
So but yeah, no, yeah. Do you do the one kernel at a time?
When you eat popcorn, yeah, or maybe a
Oh,
couple,
wow.
I think.
Oh, wouldn't we be funny to swap notes? You would be
Popcorn's
so
also not it's not one of my favorite snacks.
okay.
So, there's that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, here's one. And, what do you think of blocking the sidewalk to get a photo?
Oh, I mean, well, that goes back to the other sidewalk one. Hate it.
Oh. So I
I
don't
guess
mind that one.
I guess in that particular situation, there's always the exception that makes the rule, right? I mean, I think if it's a crowded sidewalk and you're blocking the sidewalk to take a photo, yeah, that's super annoying to me. If it's not
Yeah.
crowded, if there's enough room for me to go around you without, being super unencumbered,
Hmm.
basically if it gets in my way, then it annoys me.
You remember that episode where you were talking about if I saw you on the other side of the street, I'd know it was you,
Yeah.
or somebody or one of your colleagues said, "Oh, we knew it was you, Brenda,"
Mhm.
because the walking you were walking with a mission or
I
something,
was.
right?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
was
yeah.
I was on a mission apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think people taking photos of themselves bothers me unless 'cause, like, and you get into congested areas, I always try to get around them to because I know they're probably tourists and they're trying to you're trying to capture the moment, so I kind of but if it's, like, people just not caring, like, they're just doing it over and over and over again or not really caring and they're just clogging up everything, I think maybe that would be a bit more annoying.
Mhm. I see that. Because it comes back down to that awareness thing earlier when we were talking about not being aware of, like, how loud your volume is. I think a lot of these they just really touch on, like, social norms and social propriety and having awareness of yourself in public, right?
Yeah, yeah.
With that being said, perhaps that is an episode that we should do. Social propriety and social norms. Like,
Ooh,
where does that even come from? Who
ooh,
makes those rules?
that would be a good one. What do you think of posting vague status updates on social media?
Oh,
Number
yeah, I was
42.
just about to ask
Oh,
you
you
about
were?
that
Okay.
one. Yeah, no, this one definitely vague booking. This
Oh,
one definitely is annoying to me.
that's funny. I don't okay, this is gonna sound I don't have no idea how this is gonna sound. I don't care enough. Does that sound is that bad to say that? Like,
No,
if
I
someone puts
think
a
that's a
vague if they
great
put a
thing.
vague status, I'm like, "Oh, it doesn't." I don't take the hook. I don't
Right.
I'm like, "Oh, whatever." Like,
You're
it
not
doesn't
falling for their marketing.
and I don't care. Like, I know it sounds maybe that sounds too cold, but what a day, dot, dot, dot. I'd be like, "Oh, okay." Like, I just don't okay, what a day. Sure. Like, it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't hook me in.
I think that's actually a really great way of being, Karen. I think more of us
Okay.
need to adopt that mentality because it shouldn't bother me.
Huh.
Like, it's just social media. And if it's a friend and somebody I really care about, they're likely going to reach out to me in some other
Exactly.
avenue, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I don't care because I'm like, well, I'll just call them. Or and if I don't call them, it's because they're not in my circle for me to call them. Or I think, well, they'll just call me. Either way, I'll call them, they'll call me, or they're not in my social circle. So I'm not
Right.
putting a lot of energy on this.
I guess that's why it does bother me, though, because
Hmm.
it is so many times. I can't say that it's not a blanket statement, but many times it's very obviously because they're trying to bait, right? Like, they want
Mhm.
someone to take the hook. They're trying to get people to ask them what's wrong, or
Yeah.
it's like it's baiting. And so I think that that's what annoys me. It doesn't annoy me that they're not giving me
Mm.
more information. It annoys me how transparent it is that they just want attention.
Do you feel it's manipulative a bit?
It does feel manipulative to
Hmm.
me. Or
Like, doesn't it? Go
like
ahead.
there's an agenda, yeah, or
Yeah,
like
as
they're
I was just gonna
trying
say agenda.
to,
Yeah.
they're fishing for compliments, or they're fishing for emotional support. And I think if they're fishing for emotional support, that's unfortunate because there's better ways to get it than to vaguely post on social media.
Mm. Maybe we could do an episode on that one.
Yeah, like, how do you get emotional support in a way that's not vague booking? We'll shorten that title. That's a long one.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running
Uh,
short on time, so let's bring
okay.
let's bring forward one more each.
Okay.
So I would like to bring forward using overly familiar nicknames.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but that one does actually bother me a bit. Like if somebody that doesn't know you very well just starts calling you like hun or sweetie,
Yeah.
or if somebody like sometime there's not that many ways you can shorten my name, but sometimes people will just shorten it to Bren or B,
Yeah.
which by the
Yeah.
way I hate Bren, so if you're listening, please don't call me Bren. Um but like if you've just met someone for the first time and they're like, "Oh, hey B, how's it going?" I'm like, "I don't even know you.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not we're not familiar like this."
What's funny about that, and I know this is a little off topic, but not. I I always use the person's full name. Okay, one is because I enjoy it. Like, so if their name's Christopher, I call him Christopher, but everyone else calls him Chris, and I'm like, but I'll still call him Christopher. But why you call him Christopher when his name's Chris? Oh, I like the name. So there's some people who actually don't want you to use their full name.
Right.
So I find I always want to give the person's full name, and it takes I get uncomfortable. Oh, just call me, if it's Margaret, just call me Meg. Okay. I think I can do that. But and then you have the other ones where you shorten the name like Bren, and they're like the name's Brenda. Okay. Oh, okay.
Not my name.
But I won't that's not where I'll fault on that one, because for some reason I always go for the long name. I fault on literally not. I have a friend, everyone calls him Mike. I call him Michael. I can't do it. I can't do it. And he's like, but everyone calls me Mike. I know, but like I call you Michael. so,
That's not what I call you.
I'm on the opposite. I have to learn how to shorten people's names and nickname. So.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay, my last one for the road here is not being ready to order when you get to the counter. I am the one that people are annoyed with.
Do you do
I
that?
I am your pet peeve. Yes, I am. It is a work in progress, but more often I'm not. I'm like, okay, and I do it at drive-throughs. It doesn't matter. It's like, all of a sudden, I'm indecisive, just like that. Just in the moment, I was fine when I walked in. I get in front of that counter, and I'm like, indecision.
That is so
Yeah.
funny.
Then I look at all my options. So yes, I do. I drive, and I know I do, and I am working on it, and so I'll keep you posted. And I am getting better, but for sure I'm that person. Brenda, you would not like me if you were behind me.
Okay, so on that note, I want to leave us all with this funny thing that I saw on the internet that you reminded me of.
Okay.
So it was just an internet meme or a tweet or something like that was reposted, but I think it's hilarious and it is pertains to what you're saying. So I saw this thing, perhaps you've seen it as well, those of you listening, where somebody said that they were in a McDonald's drive-through and the woman behind them was honking and had flipped them off because they were taking too long to order. So when they got to the first window, they paid for their order and they paid for the person's order behind them. But when they got to the second window, they gave them both receipts and took both orders because she paid for both orders. So the person behind her that was flipping her off and yelling at her for being too slow had to then go all the way back through the line to get their food. And I thought that
So
was a nice.
they acted like it was generous
Yeah, like they
for the
acted like
first
they were going to
window.
pay for both of them for the first window, but then when
Oh
they got to the
no,
second window, they just took both
all
meals.
the food. That's so mean.
And it's so mean, but it's also like kind of amazing.
Oh man. So the person behind them, they were in a drive-thru and the person behind them was annoyed?
Yeah. So
Huh.
so they were being Karen and taking some
Nope.
time to order their food.
This is when my name is appropriate. Oh no, I feel so bad.
No, but yeah,
Ah,
so the person behind them was so annoyed at how long it was taking them that the person behind them then like flipped them off and started yelling at them and screaming at them.
wow.
So these are the lengths that people go to when they are so annoyed
Wow.
at other people's behavior.
Yes. Wow. Okay, so what's our call to action? What's our we've had a good laugh about all these things. What do we want to like
Hammer home.
encourage? Yeah.
My thing, and I think I was alluding to this earlier, for me personally, I think that A, I want to understand a little bit more where some of these social norms come from. So I think that we are going to have to look at this in a different podcast. But I would say
Mm,
for today, my takeaway is can you just try and bring some awareness to yourself? And
mm,
if you find things that annoy you from other people's behaviors, make sure that you're looking at your own behavior and see if perhaps you are guilty of doing any of those same things.
yeah. Yeah. I
And
like
then just
that. You're
work
right.
on it. Just
Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah. I think so too. I think that's a great thing where we're all just being aware that we're sharing this planet with a lot of people.
Exactly. Mindfulness.
Mindful. There we go.
Okay, well, thank you all for joining us today on our lighthearted episode of Do That Well. I know I've had a lot of fun, and hopefully you all have as well. We'll be back next week with a new episode. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.